Is tennis fundamentally competitive or cooperative as a game?
Well, I know the Gruen answer, which is, of course, like all other games, it's both.
It's both. And so I kind of started thinking about this, and everywhere I looked, there was nothing of any worth in human life or human interaction that didn't contain these things. I've been thinking about this thing that it's an idea of economists of public goods. A road is a public good because you can't sell it in a market, so we provide it by government. The car that drives on it is a private good because we can sell them competitively in a market. And so I kind of read up and thought a lot about public goods, but this conversation is an example. You have your interests, you have your purposes for being here, I have my purposes for being here. I might want to make some money out of you. I might want to prove to you what a clever person I am. Who knows what my private motives are? But if you and I are to make any decent use of this time, we will cooperate. Our interaction is shot through with private and shared characteristics. If we're playing a game of tennis, we go and get ourselves an independent umpire. Once you and I got ourselves an umpire, it would already be a pretty bad conversation, as we know when we watch a candidates debate. So here we are in life itself, endlessly propagating, endlessly practicing this ecology of the private and the shared. It gives you something that's very simple and something that's very it's not very ideological. I mean, in fact, I'm saying we should cooperate more than we should push the scales a bit further towards cooperation. But that'll be different in every single kind of game that we play. And it's not an ideological comment. The insight comes from economics, which is, if I can quote Paul Keating, Australia's former Prime Minister, who quoted a guy called Jack Lang. He explained to Paul when he was a young politician, in the race of life, always back a horse called self-interest. At least you know it's trying. And so we're more vigorous, we're more thoughtful, we're more skilled at defending our own interests, and that can often lead to a lack of skill, a lack of attention to all of the shared needs of a situation. And that's my argument about what's going wrong with pretty much everything from academia to politics, that it's being colonized by self-interest. And in fact, that idea of self-interest represents the way in which thinking about markets has taken over everywhere, and we believe that the only way to govern a system is to assume people are self-interested within it and try to come up with tricks and games in which their pursuing their own interest will end up doing something of shared value.